Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, a little louder, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together, Lord. Everyone together, real louder with your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So I welcome all of you to each Ines Chandramani Swami daily class. And today, Her Grace Shri Devi Mataji will be giving or enlightening us on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse 40. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. So,
Please accept my humble obeisances, Vrindavan Prabhu, and all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj.
with your permission, Mataji, I will share the screen.
Please.
Over to you, Mataji. Thank you.
2740.
Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So as His Grace Vrindavanath Prabhu has just told us, we are in Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse number 40, scheduled incarnations with specific functions. And this is a very interesting verse. So I humbly request everyone to listen up. Really beautiful verse. Vishnu Nuvirya Gananam Katamorita Hattiha. या पार्थिवानि अपि विममे रजांसि
प्रतीवानि अपि कविर्विमने राजंसि
जस्कम्भय स्वरहसा स्खलता त्रिपृष्ठम्
स्तम्भया स्वरः सकालता श्रीकृष्णाम्
यस्मात् त्रिसाम्या सदनात् उरुकम्पयानम्
यस्मात् त्रिसाम्य सदनादुरुकम्पयानम्.
So translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Who can describe completely the prowess of Vishnu? Even the scientist who might have counted the particles of the atoms of the universe cannot do so, because it is he only who, in his form of Trivikram, moved his leg effortlessly beyond the topmost planet Satyalok up to the neutral state of the three modes of material nature, and all were moved. Purport. The highest scientific advancement of the material scientist is atomic energy. But the material scientist is not able to have an estimation of the particles of atoms contained in the whole universe. But even if one is able to count such atomic particles, or is able to roll up the sky like one's bedding, even then one is unable to estimate the extent of the prowess and energy of the Supreme Lord. He is known as Trivikram because once, in his incarnation of Vamana, he expanded his leg beyond the highest planetary system, Satyalok, and reached the neutral state of the modes of nature called the covering of the material world. There are 7 layers of material coverings over the material sky, and the Lord could penetrate even those coverings. With his toe, he made a hole through which the water of the causal ocean filters into the material sky, and the current is known as the sacred Ganges, which purifies the planets of the 3 worlds. In other words, no one is equal to the transcendently powerful Vishnu. He is omnipotent, and no one is equal to or greater than him. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Prabhupada is explaining over here that what is the highest material advancement, the so-called scientists who are actually very atheistic by nature and who refuse to admit the presence of a higher power, at the most what they can make, atom bomb. And this is called advancement of civilization, by the way. Something that is going to destroy the whole world. All creation is going to come under this nuclear attack. They call this advancement. What is this advancement? Leading to death and destruction is not advancement of civilization. So science as it is today, divorced from God, is nothing but atheism. And Srila Prabhupada was very heavy when he talked about science that is divorced from God. He said this is nothing but demoniac civilization, which is proceeding towards hell. Huh? What is the big idea of, amassing nuclear weapons? Recently we saw Indo-Pakistan tensions. Huh? Each is saying, oh, I'm nuclear power. Pakistan is saying, we also have nuclear power. And all the world is saying, oh, nuclear powers, they're going to have, if they get into it, then the whole world will, which is true. The whole world will be affected if one nuclear bomb is thrown, the other retaliates, and this will go on. And Srila Prabhupada predicted that they will use these weapons because they have them, they will use them. At some point, the demons will just lose it, and the lust for power will overtake common sense, intelligence, and they will use these nuclear weapons. Prabhupada also predicted, Guru Maharaj says this, that Third World War will begin between India and Pakistan, and that it will conflagrate to the rest of the world with, one power taking side with Pakistan, another with India, and then the whole world comes under this attack of nuclear power. So again, that is why we need farm communities. But we won't go there today. I think we had enough yesterday. But the material scientist is not able to have an estimation of the particles of atoms contained in the whole universe. Even if one are able to count such atomic particles, and Prabhupada gives the example of the typical Indian style of bedding. In India, we don't have elaborate beddings. People are used to very simple life. Even I was growing up, we used to go to the native place, and everybody would sleep in one room. They would just roll up the bedding in the morning, put it in one corner, and that was it. There was no elaborate arrangement. It was very simple life. So therefore, it became very easy. It wasn't very complicated. It was roti, kapda, makan, think of God. Basically, that was it. But now, our lives are super complicated because we are going after the unnecessities of life. Prabhupada said, these are the unnecessities of life, not the necessities of life. So now, here the description of Trivikram, the Lord in his form as Vamanadev, who took 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj. This is a very beautiful pastime. Bali Maharaj, who is Bali Maharaj? He is the grandson of Prahlad. And he became extremely powerful. He became so powerful that he conquered over the demigods by virtue of his being a very faithful disciple of his spiritual master. In that particular purport, Srila Prabhupada describes that the secret of success is to be a very faithful follower of one spiritual master. Because he followed his spiritual master being very pleased upon him, granted him such prowess that he could win over the demigods. Bali Maharaj became so powerful. Obviously, when demigods are jobless, what happens? They complain. Like everyone else. Right? So Lord comes as Vamanadev, says, don't worry, I will take care of this. So he comes as a little, beautiful little dwarf. He's so small, he's so tiny, he's so cute. He says, so cute. But he was effulgent. He was effulgent because he's the Lord. So when he came to the banks of, Ganges, where all the sages were, all the sages got up because they could see he's a very effulgent personality. And then Bali Maharaj was there, and seeing this great personality, Bali Maharaj could see this is some extraordinary personality. So being a king, in those days, kings, would take pride in granting whatever they could offer to elevated personalities. They would feel very happy about some dance performance, and they will take off their gold chain and just throw it like this. Yeah, this even very recently, Jaichamaraja Vadiyar, the Mysore Maharaja, my mother would say, when she was a small girl, she heard all these stories. When he would come out on the palace, out of his palace, on a very beautifully decorated elephant, with gold all over, covering and everything. He would just throw gold coins to the people like this. This is the richness of India's culture. Very, very great wealth. Why? Because there was dharmic rule. So earth was very happy to produce gems, stones, precious stones, minerals, etc. So at one point, India was extremely rich. So rich that trade was tremendous. Gold, silver, jewelry, wealth, spices, silk. My mother would describe the silk was so fine that you could pull a whole sari through a wedding ring. That fine was the silk. And in my forefathers' time, she would describe how wealthy the people were, that jewels were stitched onto the clothes. This was the wealth. She would describe her forefather. She came from a royal family. She said, they covered from gold. Here, everywhere. So don't you dare tell me India is a poor country. We were looted like crazy, first by the Mughals and then by the British. And now, of course, with Kali Yuga advancing, mismanagement of everything. So earth doesn't produce her bounty. But actually, when there is dharmic rule, when King Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj were rulers, the earth was very happy to produce so much bounty, not only in the form of rains and grains, milk. Cows' fatty bags were filled with milk that they would muddy the pasturing grounds with milk. And when the rain fell, when it fell on the head of a snake under a particular configuration of the stars, it would produce jewels. When it fell on the head of an elephant, it would produce jewels. When it fell in the ocean, it would produce pearls. So like this, the earth would give so much bounty. But now she is withholding her bounty because of sinful acts of the populace. And so many calamities are happening. So here, there is one more description, which I just looked up yesterday, about how nicely the power of the Supreme Lord is being described. And I will share that with you because it tells about the power of the Lord. Even if it were possible to count the atoms after smashing the earth into powder, still it would be not possible to estimate the unfathomable transcendental qualities of the Lord. It is said that Lord Anantadev has tried to expound the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord with his numberless tongues, and for numberless years together, it has been impossible to estimate the qualities of the Lord. Such is the promise of the Lord. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Kavaranam. He is beyond our ability to conceive of his omnipotencies. Why is he called Bhagavan? Full in 6 opulences: strength, wealth, beauty, wisdom, fame, renunciation. And Krishna declares in himself in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 7. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai idam sarva protam sutre mani gana iva. O Dhananjay, O conqueror of wealth, there is no more truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So Krishna is declaring, there is no more truth superior to me. I am the highest of the high. His power is inestimable. His wealth is uncountable. His beauty is inconceivable. Like this, every quality in full. Prabhupada explains, in this material world, we may, highly estimate a very wealthy man or a very beautiful person or a person with a lot of power. But no one can claim that they have all strength, all wealth, all beauty, all wisdom, all renunciation. That position belongs only to God, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada coined this term. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means from him, everything else comes. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So you're all very wise people. You've come to the right place. Yes. So here the supremacy of the Lord is being established, that he became so huge. First he asked Bali Maharaj for 3 steps of land. And Bali Maharaj said, what is 3 steps of land? It is nothing. I can give you a planet. I can give you islands. I can give you unbelievable wealth. What is 3 steps of land? And that time, the Lord says something very significant. He said, I'm very small. All I need is 3 steps of land. If I cannot be satisfied with 3 steps of land, then there is no way I can be satisfied. So Prabhupada explains that to become satisfied in life is a great achievement in this age of Kali. Because we are never satisfied. Manda sumanda matayo. What is the men in this age of Kali are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, and above all, always disturbed and dissatisfied. No matter how much is there, we will have something to complain about. Best of circumstances, we will have this was not okay, that was not okay, this was not okay, this is not, I don't have this, I don't have that. Oh, why couldn't I have this? Oh, hankering, lamenting, hankering, lamenting, hankering, lamenting. But Prabhupada is giving us the formula. How to become Brahma Bhuta Prasannatva na sochati na kanchati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate para. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kanchati. No more hankering. No more lamentation. Fully joyful. We can attain this position. It is possible. By practice of Bhakti Yoga, we can get out of the entanglement of the material energy. I am not saying this. Prabhupada is saying this. If you look at, let's see. I'll pull it up for you. In chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 20, there Prabhupada is categorically stating this. Because Krishna himself is saying it. So Prabhupada gives a very beautiful explanation, which I will read out to you. Because sometimes we forget. We are so caught up in the material energy, it becomes difficult to remember, I am spirit soul. I'm not part of this world. Who am I? I am also eternal. I am also full of knowledge. I am also full of bliss. Why am I suffering like this then here? It is because I'm still caught up. We are still caught up in the modes of material nature. We are not free yet. But if we continue on the path, we will become free. Here we go. Can everyone see my screen? I hope you can. 14:20 of Bhagavad Gita. Gunanetan atityatrin dehi deha samudbhavan janma mrityu jara dukkhair vimukto amritam ashnute. When the embodied being is able to transcend these 3 modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. So yesterday, we all experienced this for a few hours, isn't it? Completely lost in the holy name of Krishna, and we were simply drinking nectar. All of us were completely blissful, chanting, dancing. We forgot everything. My knee pain, my headache, my this, my that, my problems, my IRS taxes, my this, my everything faded away, right? We were completely carried away because we were in the spiritual, completely spiritual atmosphere. So this is actually the spiritual world. When devotees come together, do Krishna Kirtan, do Krishna Katha, have Krishna Prasadam, it becomes the spiritual world. This is what Prabhupada has given us. So, Trivikrama. Why is he called Trivikrama? 3 means 3. Vikrama means steps. So, in 3 steps, he completely covered everything. So, Bali Maharaj's spiritual master, he said, no. Don't give him anything. He is actually Vishnu. He has come to take away everything from you. You can make some excuse. You can say like this, you can say like that, you can do like this. He is giving all ways in which to circumvent his word which he has given. But Bali Maharaj is truthful. He is a person of character. He is a person of integrity. He is a person of his word of honor. In those days, it was death is preferable to dishonor. They were so particular about their word of honor. So he gives many examples. He says, King Shibi, all these people, they give up their very life. What to speak of 3 steps of land? And even if he is Vishnu, and even if he takes away everything, what is the problem with that? He is the Lord. Everything belongs to him anyway. So he is actually a highly self-realized personality. And Krishna is testing him. He is testing him to see what is the extent of Bali Maharaj's faithfulness. So Bali Maharaj says, I will give. Finish. The fun begins. With one step, Vamanadev, he's now Trivikram, completely covers the earth planet. He expands. Now all the skies are covered. Then, with the second step, all the higher planetary system, Tapalok, Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok, is reaching beyond that. And everyone can see this is the Supreme Lord. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's very clear he's covered everything. And Bali Maharaj is helpless. And so now he says, where should I put my third step? You have given me your word. Kaha dalu? Tell me. Now what do I do? Bali Maharaj says, my dear Lord, place your foot on my head. And immediately down to Sutala planet. But the Lord is so pleased with his surrender, his complete allegiance to his word of honor. He grants him the Sutala planet, which is even more opulent than the heavenly planets. And he agrees to become his doorkeeper. See the mercy of the Lord. So one who gives something to Krishna is never the loser. It will come back manifold. You give time to Krishna, he will expand the time for you to serve him more. You give money to Krishna, it will expand many times more, and he'll give you so much money you can't hold it with your 2 hands. There is a saying in Hindi, तुम क्या पकड़ सकते हो 2 हाथ से जब भगवान 10 हाथ से देना चाहते हैं. The opposite is also true. What can you hold with your 2 hands when Krishna comes to take away this 10 hands? Like Bali Maharaj, you say, okay, Lord, whatever you desire. Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. Sakhyam and Atmanivedanam is higher because it's spontaneous devotional service. Till then it is Vaidhi Bhakti. So these processes of devotional service, each is exemplified by one great personality. Shravanam is Parikshit Maharaj. Kirtanam is Shukadev Goswami. Smaranam is Prahlad Maharaj. Archanam is Prithu Maharaj. Before that, Padasevanam is Lakshmi Devi, because she's always massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. Archanam, Vandanam is Akrur. Dasyam is Hanumanji. Sakhyam is Arjuna. And Atmanivedan is Bali Maharaj. So these are very great personalities. Some of them are Mahajans. Mahajana Jena Yatha Gatha Sapantha. Must follow in the footsteps of the great souls, because they are teaching by example how to surrender unto the Lord, how to give everything unto Krishna. Everything belongs to him anyway. We are simply caretakers. From point A to point B, I, Sridevi Dasi, owns this building, let's say. After I'm gone, someone else. Property is the same. So who is the real owner? Krishna. Earth laughs. So many kings fight over Earth. And she laughs, saying, what are you fighting? This doesn't belong to you. They've come and they've gone. Napoleon Bonaparte and Alexander the Great and this one and that one. They've all come and gone. But the earth is still here because she belongs to Krishna. Dharati Mata, we say. So, Lord came to teach many things because Krishna performs many pastimes with one pastime. Krishna wants to teach the spirit soul, I am the topmost. Surrender unto me. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. And in that beautiful purport that Srila Prabhupada gives, he explains that do not hesitate, do not fear, do not worry. Huh? In this age of Kali, there's tremendous worry. Anxiety and depression are the two leading problems in society today. Small children as young as 8, 10, 12 years, therapy. Anxiety. So much anxiety, so much worry. The whole atmosphere is vitiated with this fear and anxiety and worry. Where's the joy when we are always worrying? Where there's happiness without peace? So first, to come to the platform of peace, everyone must take up devotional service saying, Krishna, you are everything and I'm only your das or dasi. Jivera Swarup hoy, Ditera Krishna das. And one who understands the nature of the Lord, his form, his name, his qualities, his pastime, Janma karma cha me divyam, yojanati tatvataha, tattva deham punarjanma, naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the nature of my transcendental appearance and activities does not take birth in this material world again, but attains my abode, O son of Kunti. Such a wonderful promise Krishna is giving. Just learn about me. Just hear about me. Just worship me. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaishasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, offer your homage, offer your worship unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. And Krishna's promise is his promise, not like our promises. Yeah. I'll do it. Yes. And 3 days later, oh, did I really say that? I must have been, I must be having a senior moment. Oh, I'm sorry, not possible. This is our promises in this material world. But Krishna's promise never ever fails. Once he gives his word, he will do it. Arjuna, I'll tell you a little story. You want to hear a story? I mean, this happened. Arjuna took a terrible vow. In the Mahabharata war, he was so angry at the way Abhimanyu was killed. He said, by tomorrow, I will kill Dronacharya. Otherwise, I will enter fire. Is that correct? Jayadratha. Sorry. Or I will enter fire. And that evening, he's getting ready, he's going to bed. And Krishna is saying, you're taken such a terrible vow. Tomorrow before sunset, you claim you're going to kill Jayadratha. You're coolly going to sleep. So he says, why should I worry, my lord? You're here, there, no? And then Krishna, what he does, he makes it as though the sun has set. But the sun has not set. Now is your chance, shoot! And then again the sun is uncovered. So Krishna will do anything for his devotee. He will do anything. This is the promise of the Lord. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly. My devotee will never be vanquished. So one who takes shelter of Krishna has nothing to fear. Krishna has got your back, as we say in America, right? So nothing to fear. What is there to fear? See, during COVID time, I thought that was the prime time for preaching. Because everyone is panicking, So I would go out. And in the New Orleans temple, they were all like, Mataji, how you are going? What you are doing like this? You should sit in the house. I said, kya hone wala hai? At the most, I'm going to die, right? I'll get COVID and I'll die. But my body is dead anyway. Might as well use it in service to Krishna. What is the big idea? I had the time of my life. Believe me, I distributed books. I gave the holy name because people were ready to hear. There was so much confusion. There was so much, not knowing. So people were ready to hear. People were willing to hear. I don't know how many places I went and just started with my kartal, started holy name, and 5, 10 people would sit with me and sing because they felt something coming from the holy name. Obviously, because they are also spirit souls. So once we come to this understanding, we lose all fear. There is no need to fear anything because, like I said, at the most, what is going to happen? You're going to die. But the real me will never die because I'm soul. But if I use my body in service to Krishna, that is to my eternal benefit, isn't it? Our devotee becomes fearless. Abhaya charanara vindare bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya charanara vindare Durlabha manava janama satsange Durlabha manava janama satsange तारो हे भव सिंधु रे भजहु रे मन श्री नंदन अभय चरण रविंद रे. So once we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, there is nothing to worry. Krishna will take care. Dear, when our children wake up in the morning, do they have to keep telling us, "Mummy, mummy, mummy, give me food. Mummy, 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 take me to the shower. Mummy, 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 take me to the school." Out of love, you naturally do all these things. Out of love, we naturally take care of our children. Why Krishna, our eternal Father, will not take care of us, his children? Tell me, is there any reason? Of course not. So one must have faith. One must have complete faith. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyaite katita hi artha prakashante mahatmanaha. What is the translation? One who has implicit faith, unflinching faith in the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord, all the Vedic imports are revealed within his heart, which means he comes to knowledge. Once we come to real knowledge, we are free. We are free. We don't have to fear anything. By taking shelter of Guru and Krishna, we can become free. And this freedom is what the soul is longing for. Because the nature of the soul is not to be trapped in this material body. The nature of the soul is to be free, to love Krishna, to serve Krishna fully, completely, joyfully. That is the real nature of the soul. And we can reach that condition of pure existence by taking shelter of Krishna. So there are 7 material coverings over every universe. There are coverings above the sky: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. And each covering is 10 times thicker than the previous one. Thicker, 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 thicker. So each universe is compared to an egg, Jagadanda. And every universe is as small as a mustard seed in a bag of mustard seeds. So for the Lord, this is nothing. Just tiny, tiny, tiny little universes. And ours is the smallest universe of the 4-headed Brahma. Like this 10 heads, 100 heads, 1,000 heads, million-headed Brahmas with huge planetary universes. So this whole universe is, and this is still only 1/4 of the whole creation. 3/4 is the spiritual world. So just imagine what a small portion is this prison house called the material world, which is dark and cold because here we need light, electricity, sun, moon. But the spiritual worlds are self-effulgent because the Supreme Lord's effulgence is lighting up everything. The Vaikuntha planets, Golok Vrindavan, which is our real home. With his toe, he made a hole through which the sacred Ganges comes down. Mirabai sings, Ganga Jamuna Nirmala Pani Sheetal Hot Sharir Chalo Man Ganga Jamuna Tira Chalo Man Ganga Jamuna Tira. And everywhere in India and now all over the world, people know the sacred Ganges is Mother Ganga. She purifies one of all sins because she is coming from the spiritual worlds to purify the entire worlds, all the three worlds. She even goes down further, not just here. She goes down to the lower planets also. So Mother Ganga, she has come down on the order of on the plea of Bhagirath. That's another story. How Bhagirath, we won't go there because it's 8:40. So with his toll, let's go further down, Vrindavan Nath. I want to see the rest. I want to cover all the points in this. Yeah. In other words, no one is equal to the transcendently powerful Vishnu. He is omnipotent and no one is equal to or greater than him. Greatest of the greatest of the greatest, smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, lighter than the lightest. The Lord is everywhere and in everything. I want to share this particular verse with you. It is 8, Bhagavad Gita 8.9. 8.9. 8.9. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. So we are all always encouraged to think of Krishna, who is so beautiful. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is decorated beautifully with a peacock feather in his hair, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, and the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, playing his transcendental flute, which is enchanting all the worlds. And that same Krishna comes as beautiful Lord Chaitanya, golden colored, eyes like blooming lotus petals, with the hue of Radharani, golden in color. And his beauty is his weapon in this age. In this age, he doesn't come with any weapons to kill demons, but his astra is his beauty. His luster is so beautiful, and his eyes are always welling up with tears, and he's always singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he's attracting all the souls to come to him by enacting his beautiful pastimes. Navagauravaram, Navapushpasharam, Navabhavadharam, Navalasyaparam, Navahasyakaram, Navahemavaram, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram, Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. So this is such a beautiful song. Vrindavan Nath, can you pull up this song? At least we can read the translation. We're running out of time, I know. But the description of Lord Chaitanya is so profoundly moving. Let's see if I can pull it up. Nava Gauravaram. Here we go. Here we go. Would you like to hear the translation?
As I have shared Mataji on the screen.
Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you, Vrindavan Nath. Would you like to read out the first translation for us? First verse.
His complexion is the hue of fresh cream, tinged with kumkum. He is ever fresh, Cupid, who shoots arrow of newly blossoming flowers. He bears newer and newer moods of emotional ecstasy. He is fond of performing novel dances. He makes ever new jokes that cause much laughter. His brilliant luster is like freshly cast gold. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He is endowed with ever-fresh love of Godhead. His radiant luster is the color of fresh butter. His fresh attire is arranged in ever-new fashions. He relishes ever new mellows of love for Krishna. He shines in ninefold new ways, executing the ninefold processes of devotion. He is permeated with a most auspicious, loving nature. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. Who would like to read number 3?
He is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. He maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy names on the fingers of his hands. He is addicted to the name of Hari. He always has tears of love wheeling in his eyes. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
Number 4.
He is always removing the suffering of material existence for making mankind. He's the goal of the he's the goal of the for persons who are dedicated to their supreme interest. He inspires man to become like honeybees, eager for the honey for Krishna prema. He removes the burning fever of the material world. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He motivates pure devotion unto himself. He is most attractive to his beloved servitors. By his dramatic dancing, he exhibits the characteristics of the king of paramours. He causes the minds of beautiful young village women to dance. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. Number 6.
He plays Kartala as his throat and sweet melodious sounds and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his own devotional service. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He is accompanied by the Sankirtan movement, which is a religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj come again. He is the extraordinary, brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mood is suitably adapted to the cycle of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by his transcendental abode. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. And number 8.
His soles, his eyes, the soles of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he utters his own names, his voice falters. He awakens a sweet flavor to life throughout the universe. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
So Lord Gauranga has come to teach us how to love Krishna by this chanting of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll all sing a song together in praise of Lord Gauranga. Is that all right? Bhaj Gaurango, kaho Gaurango, laho Gaurangera naam re. Gaurango, kaho Gaurango, laho Gaurangera naam re. Bhaj Gaurango, kaho Gaurango, laho Gaurangera naam re.
Gaurango naam re.
Je jana Gauranga bhaje se hoy amara pran re.
Ye Gauranga bhaje se Gauranga naam re.
Bhaj Gaurango kaho Gaurango laho Gaurangera naam re.
Bhaj Gaurango Nava Gaurango Bhaj Gaurango naam re.
Gauranga boliya dubahu tuliya nachiya nachiya bedare.
Gauranga Pariya Gauranga Pariya Nachiya Nachiya naam re.
भज गौरांग कह गौरांग लह गौरांगेर नाम रे
गौरंग गौरंग भज गौरंग नाम रे
गौरंगा भजिले गौरंगा जपिले होय दुखेरा बसान रे
गौरंग भजले गौरंग भजले हो बसान रे
भज गौरांग कह गौरांग लह गौरांगेर नाम रे
भज गौरंगा कह गौरंगा लह गौरंगा नाम रे
ये जाना गौरंगा भजे से हो हमारा प्राण रे
निज बाजे ते हो अमरा प्राण रे
भज गौरांग कह गौरांग लह गौरांगेर नाम रे
भज गौरंगा कह गौरंगा लह गौरंगा नाम रे
See how merciful Lord Chaitanya is. He doesn't care whether we are qualified, unqualified, sinful, pious, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, white, black, brown. Doesn't care about anything. He just says, chant the holy names, make your life successful. He's so merciful. Worship Lord Gauranga, chant Gauranga, speak about Lord Gauranga only. Those who worship Lord Gauranga is my life and soul. Chanting Gauranga, go with your arms raised, dancing and dancing. By chanting Gauranga and worshipping him, one's miseries will end. Gauranga! Haribo. So thank you all very much for listening very patiently. We will open up for questions, comments, realizations.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Absolutely amazing class. So much nectar and so many nice bhajans, and especially ending with that very nice Gauranga name. So nice. Thank you very much. So dear devotee,
We have a live audience right here.
oh fantastic,
Manas
Mataji. Yes.
Prabhu, his beautiful wife Niti. We have Gokul Priya Mataji and her wonderful husband Vanmali Prabhu. Then we have Dharma Vatsal, we have Bonnie, we have Manjari Gopi, we have Kamal Krishna and Vivek Prabhu. So we will give them a chance. Gokul Priya Mataji would like to ask a question. Yes,
Please.
Mataji.
Thank you, Lord. Beautiful. When class and bhajans and singing and slokas are there, I give my heart to them.
Thank you.
And you are such a personality.
Humble obeisances, Guru Maharaj. Yes, you were asking some question?
Yeah, it was so sweet. It was so sweet with that mixture of bhajans and slokas and class. So this beautiful.
We aim to please the Vaishnavas. Yes.
So this bhajan looks like, or I thought Narottam Das Thakur as it's glorifying Mahaprabhu, but the description said Nityananda Prabhu himself sang this. So I was wondering who is the author.
I honestly, even I don't know. Some say Sarvabhauma, right? Bhaja Gaurango, Kaho Gaurango, Laho Gaurangera Namare. I thought it was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Nityananda. So I'm wrong. Yeah, Lord Nityananda. Okay. Himself is singing. Yes. Manjari Gopi.
Wonderful class. So I have one question. Purposely said that.
Huh?
But you said in front of Maharaj, I had purposely I said Maharaj should be proud of the disciple, right? So I have one question is like that portion I always wonder when Shukracharya stopped Bali Maharaj to fulfill what Vishnu wants, at that point, it's very confusing. The ordinary person like me will think how to go, whatever Guru Maharaj is saying, how to go beyond that decision and take our own decision, because he is only showing the path of Lord. And how come we are not listening to Guru Maharaj and we are directly approaching Lord without even our Guru Maharaj is saying not to go, but still I'm approaching Lord. Sometimes I get wonder. I mean, I don't know what to do in that situation. If I'm not like Bali Maharaj, what is a pure devotee, what in his mind is going on, I don't know. But I'm like fallen soul. I don't understand what I will do when I will be in his position.
Well, let's mention the answer is given. Sukracharya has decided down not to listen to Brahmanism. So Prabhupada explains the spiritual master is supposed to bring you to Krishna. And because he was refusing to connect him with Krishna, and Krishna was right there, he became asara. Asara means useless. So he lost his position as a spiritual master when he run against the principles of a spiritual master. So at that point, Bali understood that here's God, and my spiritual master is supposed to bring me to God, but he's not. So he's asara, a useless. So his disobedience was a principle of knowledge, because the Supreme Lord is personally present, and the Lord is saying one thing, spiritual master is saying another thing. Therefore, he's not a spiritual master, or he's lost his, his position as giving instructions. Just like if the spiritual master says, you don't have to follow the four regulative principles, you can choose which ones you want, then he's no longer bona fide.
So Maharaj, contradictory. I heard one story, like Radharani was saying, one of the our Acharya, so she was giving some instruction, and in the same time, Guru Maharaj was also giving some instruction, and the Lord was testing whom will going to listen. And then he listened to his Guru Maharaj. Then Radharani got happy because he listened to his Guru Maharaj. They were trying to test. So in that scenario, how to take that? It might be some test is going on. I don't know how to decide. I mean, sometimes like the fallen soul like me will not understand what is going on here.
Wait till you get into that position. Then you know what to do.
Okay.
You pray. And if everything is in place, you'll get the
And let me just tell the internet audience this. So the question was, Mataji asked, see, Shukracharya is saying something else, and Bali Maharaj knows that it is not correct. But at the same time, for people like us, how will we know what is the right thing to do? The spiritual master is saying something, but the Lord is in front. I want to do what the Lord wants. What is to be done? So therefore, Guru Maharaj gave the explanation that he loses his position because the Lord is right there in front of him. And the spiritual master is supposed to bring you to God. God is there asking right in front of Bali Maharaj, and the spiritual master is refusing the command of God. So he is no longer the spiritual master. He's useless, asara, useless. Did everyone get that?
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
I think just like to further clarify, my understanding here is that any like a spiritual master or any devotee, if they are going against Krishna, then that's not like kind of a Vaishnava. And then we can kind of cross that, because if anybody is going against the Krishna, because that's what Shukracharya did, going against the Krishna.
Yes. Yeah, and Guru Maharaj just now explained further. He said, supposing your spiritual master says, oh, you don't have to follow all the four regulative principles. You can pick and choose which ones you like and which ones you don't want to follow. So then automatically he is no longer bona fide because he is going against the scriptures, going against Krishna, going against the bona fide acharyas who have given us these instructions. So yeah, we must use our intelligence and discrimination in all situations.
Sometimes it's less apparent. Less apparent. Then it becomes difficult. It's not so clear what to do. So the spiritual master may also present something that is not right, but it sounds right. There's a lot of people like that. Just like they say, what is this? I agree. This was in ISKCON for a while. One of our spiritual leaders, I was personally involved with this, said you don't have to chant 16 rounds. You can chant 2 hours. So he was calculating by time rather than by numerical value, which is really off, because some people will not complete 16 in 2 hours, and some people may complete more than 16 in 2 hours. So that's an example of how it seems like it's okay, but it's not. Things are clear. All you have to do is follow the bona fide acharya. In our case, we have a point of reference, and that's Prabhupada. So even if your spiritual master is off, or apparently seems to be off, or you're confused, you can refer to Srila Prabhupada's instructions, and then you approach your spiritual master and say, this is what Prabhupada says, you're saying something else. So please clarify. Like that. Narahari Sakar has written one book. When the spiritual master apparently goes off, then the disciple approaches him with questions in a very respectful way to see what the situation is. It's a small book, it's 59 pages. It's about when the spiritual master no longer is actually in a position, but still seems to be. Yeah. So everything is checks and balances. We have everything there. In our case, we're fortunate we go to Prabhupada. And then that requires clarification too in some cases, to see whether that applies in this situation or not. So basically, what it comes down to, it requires intelligence.
In connection with it, so we are hankering for some spiritual nourishment, some spiritual empowerment and association, and wherever we get, it could be Prabhupada, our God cousins, might not be directly God brothers, God sisters.
Right.
So, as plant tries to go for sunlight, bending this way, that way. So we cannot, there is nothing wrong in doing that, right? Like taking association, not only, maybe physically we have God brothers, God sisters around us, but if we can take nourishment virtually from our God cousins.
You can do that, but when it comes to the instructions of your spiritual master, sometimes the instructions from one spiritual master to another is slightly different, and the moods are also different. Sometimes, just like we allow disciples to take a Shiksha Guru. So if one disciple wants to take Shiksha Guru from another person in ISKCON who's also Guru, the spiritual master will see whether he approves of that or not, because his mood might be different. And then if the mood is different, maybe the instructions will not be so easily understandable. So it goes back to the initiating spiritual master to give approval. If you're getting guidance In other words, if you're getting nourishment and instructions from others, you should check and make sure it's in line with your spiritual lifestyle.
To be direct and frank, I resonate so much with Sridevi Mataji what she is speaking. I might be faint in my heart, but she is so strong saying out in words.
Well, but you have to see. I mean, what she's saying is from scriptures, from Guru. I mean, it could be checked based on, you know, what you've heard from others, whether it's slightly off. Just like someone might say, well, there was one of Prabhupada's godbrothers. He said, you don't have to chant 16 rounds. You can chant 4 rounds. If you chant 4 good rounds, that's as equal to the 16 rounds. So that was Prabhupada's senior godbrother. And people followed him. And there are people who are still following him now. That was Sridhar Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada's senior godbrother. So yeah, because of his position and his power, he was able to convince others that, 16 rounds is too hard, especially for Westerners. They can chant 4 nice rounds, that would be sufficient for them to be fixed nice and good, but that's not Prabhupada's instructions. And people gravitated who were following ISKCON towards him and took up his instructions as, a practice. And see, it requires some intelligence. And everything is not always so clear. That's why Bodhiyantas Parasparam Katyantas Chima. We have to discuss these things for clarification, for understanding, for application. Prabhupada said it's not easy. So therefore, you definitely have to really apply your intelligence to the process.
Nowadays, Maharaj, I have seen few devotees as well listening to
Outside.
few names, Premanand Maharaj, Indresh, Pundarik. I have seen
Kripalu.
devotees- Huh?
Kripalu also.
Kripalu Maharaj. In ISKCON, devotees are following this, listening to them also, and using those in preaching also. We can find this. Okay, this was right, from there. So, and I'm talking about seniors as well, like where. So, what would you like to say about that? Is that okay, or we should reject and just follow what Prabhupada is saying?
Well, as Bhakti True Maharaj, when he was confronted with such things in the regular life, he decided to make a series of seminars based on showing that everything you need for your spiritual advancement, even Radhanuga Bhakti and the whole process is given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Shivaram Maharaj has also shown that through Prabhupada's statements in his books. But you have to find it and see how it's explained. So they say Prabhupada didn't give everything, but that's not true. Like the Guru Maharaj showed that, and Shivaram Maharaj is now showing it through his books. We haven't heard everything that Prabhupada said. But whatever's in his books, we say these are the law books. So that's enough to become fully Krishna conscious. How many examples are there?
So in that case, essentially, we should not really go outside the peripheries of.
Well, if you're married. And you want to marry another lady, what is your wife gonna do?
Good example. The married spiritual master also.
It's called chastity. Being chased to the spiritual master. That's a very, what we say, laudable quality. But Prabhupada calls that just wanderlust, going this way and that way. Mind is going that way.
Yeah.
I found everything in Prabhupada's books, but you really have to read. And you have to hear regularly in order to really know how much he gave us or what he gave us.
Mark, yes, follow-up question?
Hmm?
When you were speaking about Sridhar Maharaj's instructions, what if the people had come to him without having come to Prabhupada first? Then they would be his disciples. Would it be appropriate for them to follow his instructions?
I could say yes, if they didn't come to Prabhupada yet. Then they don't have any allegiance to Prabhupada.
Right.
They can choose. But Sridhar Swami is a disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that if you don't chant 64 rounds, you haven't made it to human form of life. So he's a disciple. So, but to understand that instruction, we have to understand what Bhaktisiddhanta was saying. He says those who stay in the temple and don't preach, they have to chant 64 rounds. Those who go out preaching can chant 60 rounds. So that's the qualification. So if you don't know the whole thing, you see just part of it. So Sridhar Swami, he's a great soul. Prabhupada used to go to him for, discussions on different, but he was thinking that the Westerners can't do it. And in one sense, there is some truth to that. A lot of devotees can't chant 16 rounds, or they've given up chanting their 16 rounds. I know so many. But Prabhupada didn't allow that as a principle. If you're initiated, 16 rounds. Make time. As Sridevi was saying, Prabhupada would say, cut out your eating and sleeping. You'll find time to chant 16 rounds. But that's not why people don't chant. Because they're chanting with offense, they get no taste. And because they get no taste, they think, I could be doing something more practical and getting more things done in life. I'm not getting anything from this chanting. The thing is, stop your offenses. And there's ways you can do that by getting guidance and practical understanding. What does it mean? Chant, how to chant, and what is the mood of chanting?
What if people don't know what their offenses are?
Well, we should read the books and find out, but if a devotee will think, I may have committed offenses, but I don't know what they are. So therefore you pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, I've committed offenses unknowingly. Please forgive me. Say a prayer. Example, one of my god sisters who's the main preacher, and her name is Urmila, you know Urmila. Urmila, yeah. I heard this from her directly. She was giving class in Italy. She said, one day I was chanting and there was no taste. And I'm thinking, I must have committed some offense to someone. So she started to pray, my dear Lord, please help me understand what offense I committed. So the next day she gets a call from one of her friends saying, hey, this lady here, you were a teacher to her student and you really abused her son, and she's very upset about it. So she understood that was a mistake she made. She understood that person was right in their criticism. So she apologized sincerely. And then she said, after that, my japa was nice again. She told me that. She spoke it in a class and I was in the class. So there's an example.
about hearing from others. About hearing from others, what Prabhuji was mentioning. I think we don't have control over other people, what they want to hear, what they hear. But for ourselves, we should be very loyal to ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, and our present Guru.
Well, ISKCON has made some, mistake. They haven't really emphasized the importance of Raganuga Bhakti, which is Lord Chaitanya's teachings. And so many, I can say even many devotees have gone outside to find gurus to teach them the science of Raganuga Bhakti. But Shiva Ram Maharaj is trying to stop that with his books. So now he's teaching it through his books. And he's done 2 books. Yeah. Spontaneous. Similar topic. So that our society has been somewhat, I don't know what's the word, thinking we shouldn't go into that area, but it's not true. That is bhakti. That is what Lord Chaitanya, and you can't get to love of God unless you go through that stage of Raganuga sadhana. You have to perform Raganuga sadhana and follow the principles of Raganuga Bhakti. But then again, who's qualified? That's where Shiva Ram Maharaj is showing through Prabhupada's statements and statements of the other acharyas and what level your bhakti is mature enough to move into that stage of practice. The 9 stages.
Yeah, the Adavashadha Sadhu Sangha. In that sequence, once you come to the stage of Bhava, you follow,
Even before then.
we are probably, we are jumping without, finishing the first 4 or 5 steps. To thinking, oh, I want to have a prema.
But then there's a way to practice the mood, because there is prema bhakti, there's bhava bhakti, and there's sadhana bhakti.
Yeah.
So there's 3 categories of execution. And sadhana bhakti contains Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. So the second half of sadhana bhakti, when you practice sadhana bhakti properly, you come to the stage of becoming qualified to practice Raganuga bhakti. But ISKCON is not so, for whatever reason, is not promulgating that. But Shiva Ram Maharaj actually, he challenged the society also. I mean, we're a little bit deficient in that area, thinking that devotees are not qualified. But that's a wrong mood. And because of that, many have left and went to other gurus to get that knowledge. I even have a disciple, 2 disciples who left, who are doing that now.
There is one more book, Shiva Ram Maharaj, Urmila Mataji, some other devotees collectively did it. It's Raghunath Das Goswami's book.
Manasiksha.
Manasiksha.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
We just gave a seminar. You want to explain what we did?
Yeah, at the Paris retreat, Guru Maharaj asked us all to read Manasiksha before we came so that we had some, working knowledge. And then Bhuta Bhavana Prabhu, he's a disciple of Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, as well as Guru Maharaj. They spoke on the various verses saying that how we need to cajole the mind. We need to, beseech the mind. We need to sometimes be very stern with the mind. And we need to go deeper into a bhakti because it is not an external thing. We have to reach the point where we are building our internal connection with Krishna rather than just doing the externals. Because externals, we can fake it. But the internal, you cannot fake. That has to be real. It has to be authentic. It has to be genuine. So for that, the mind is the main problem because it has kept us taking birth after birth after birth. Remember, the subtle body is accompanying us life after life after life. So we have the same mind, all millions and millions of births. So to change the mind and bring it towards Krishna is not an easy thing. It is always turning away from Krishna. That is what is making us taking. So to beseech the mind and bring it closer to Krishna and to control the 6 enemies of the mind is a very big endeavor. So it is a daily practice, constant practice. We must give up all pride. That's the very first verse. Having given up all pride, develop unprecedented love for Sri Guru, Sri Radha Krishna in Vrindavan, the cows, the residents of Vrindavan, all the Vaishnav devotees of the Lord, and develop bhakti for the divine couple.
Maha Mantra, Gayatri Mantra.
Yes, Maha Mantra and Gayatri Mantra. So, like this is the first verse. Like this, there are more. Raghunath Das Goswami has written total 12 verses.
11 verses,
11.
12 verses.
Palastuti. So, and it is said that every day, if we allowed to read these verses, we will attain to the platform of pure loving devotion to Radha Krishna.
Although he's dealing with the mind, he's directing the mind where the mind should be. That's the essence of his, speaking to the mind. Put your mind here, and don't put your mind here. There's 4 verses in the middle that he's telling you where not to put your mind. And then the first 3, he gives the direction, the first, and the next 5 or 4.
4, I think.
4. He tells you not, these are the things that are going to destroy your Krishna consciousness. And then he goes back at the end, again, bringing you back to Vrindavan in a more direct way.
Manashiksha.
Huh?
Manashiksha.
Yeah, Manashiksha. So we just did a seminar in the beginning of April. Just in New Mindful. I think it was the devotee said it was the best seminar we ever had. The response was really good.
Definitely, it was the best.
I think even the ladies took up Raganuga Bhakti on the spot.
We can have that sometime when you go to.
Well, I invite everyone to come to these seminars. But
You just gotta go to Paris local next time.
That's right.
next year, we're doing it again, New Mindful.
Plant local. You need a starter plant?
Oh, Krishna. Keep having chatter plant.
Very well, we can go.
You want the wings.
Very well,
I'm afraid to bring Mali there because he won't come back.
I'll be in the Eiffel Tower.
You'll be in the garden.
You'll be in the garden with the cows.
They have 1,000 cows.
They got cows, it's a farm community.
Oh, it's farm. I'll think about it.
Yeah, so we do it every year, but this year was quite successful. So we got so much nice feedback because I decided to have devotees write about their experiences, and we got so many positive statements. It's really good.
This is also your disciples retreat.
I didn't write mine, Guru Maharaj.
You don't have to, don't worry.
Thank you.
Was it disciples retreat?
That's what we call it, but it's open to everyone. Yeah, we call it disciples retreat so we can get the disciples to come. That's the reason. But we make it available to everyone. But how much we publicize it outside of the God family, and that's maybe we should do it more open. I've been doing it every year for the last, how many years? 10 years.
You did
10
2 years
years
ago,
at
like,
least.
From the retreat, maybe you can open it for everyone and.
Many people will like to join.
We have a retreat coming up in September.
I can share the flyer with you if you want.
It's a combined retreat
Where, Mara?
in Ujjain. And then after Ujjain, there's a break of 1 day, and then we go to GEV for a week after that, over on Echo Village. So we're doing, because devotees some want to go to one, some want to go to the other, some want to go to both, so we're making it back to back. Because we usually do GEV retreat every December, so now we combined it into one. A little austere for some people, but anyway. Let's see.
Guru Maharaj, would you like to take some questions from our internet audience?
Is there one from the local?
Anyone else would like to ask questions from our in-person? Yes, yes.
So as you said, like, and you all know basically, like, Krishna is our real father and he will do everything to make us happy. But sometimes my kids go through some situation, and when I say the same thing, Krishna will take care of you, he is a real father and all. They ask me question like, if Krishna is a real father, why there are people who are starving? Why there are people who are not having food to eat, like Africa? If he's a real father, he should provide abundance. Then I will tell what I answer. I answer that they are born that is and not master by and all. What would you answer in such case when kids ask such questions? I know Krishna is the father, maintained and everything. Then why you not maintaining people in Africa? Why you not maintaining people on street? So how to convince kids?
How to convince kids about Krishna?
No,
Yeah.
That
give them
is,
the proper answer.
Yeah, give them the proper answer. Yeah, proper understanding.
Why there is a, my
disparity.
daddy is very rich.
Hmm.
Why somebody else is not same
Very
as that?
Okay. So I'll just explain. So the question Kamal Krishna Prabhu is asking is his
Yes.
kid. You got it, right?
Yes, Mataji, we could hear. Thank you.
So with Guru Maharaj's mercy, I will humbly try to answer. I don't know that I will satisfy you, so we'll again ask Guru Maharaj only. But my understanding is we all are coming into this world with our own karma. Why is one child born blind? Why another child is born deaf? Why another child is born with cerebral palsy? So the Dhritarashtra asked this question. He's saying, why all these things happened, my dear Lord Krishna? Why was, I had 100 sons and all of them were killed on the battlefield. I was born blind. So Krishna said, you really want to know? And Dhritarashtra said, yes. So then he explained, 50 lives ago, you were a hunter. You shot a flaming arrow into a nest of birds. The mother bird was blinded, but she got away. But all the 100 little chicks, the little baby birds were killed. So that's why in this life here, say 50 lives ago, and now I have to pay the price. Says, yes, you have to build up so much pious credit in order to pay that karmic debt. If someone is bankrupt, they cannot pay the debt, na? So they make them go to work and then they take the money. So like this, karma is so intricate that we cannot understand where it began, how it began, what did I do. These are all very difficult to understand. It's very intricate. So every place has its own geographical karma also. Why some places it's so arid, desert-like and all. Lot of sinful activities have been committed. There's been a lot of bloodshed. There's been a lot of war. There's been a lot of injustice. So that is why some places, very auspicious, we say. If you go to Nasik, you will see the trees, gigantic trees and a very pleasing atmosphere. And Nasik is one place in India where the temperature is always 25 degrees, AC weather. Lord Ram was there. Now you go to places in the north of India, so hot that if you actually go out in the heat, you will immediately get sunstroke. It's that hot. So every place has a geographical karma. Every person has their own karma. So why someone takes birth over there, why someone is born, as Prabhu said, it is our karmic debt. We have to pay that debt. There is no escaping that. So Krishna doesn't interfere with our free will. And so he says,
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to help you.
right.
Somebody has, I think his children is talking about, it's not because of compassion or anything. They are just inquiring, why, when you say father aspect, my father is taking care of us so nicely. Why somebody else's father is not able to provide to them? kind of thing, you know? So, but again,
And I always talk about this karma, and now my daughter has got this. She's, yeah, I know, back
Yeah,
baggage of karma, baggage of
But the statement what we make generally is like, Krishna is there, he will protect everybody. And then he is not able to protect some kids, and he can protect some kids, then they are saying what is going on. At one point we are saying he will protect everybody, and at one point we are saying like some kids are not protected. So that is the reason they asked this question.
Some answers that we also give. I think this kind of scenario, the circumstances comes with all the kids, and they will have this kind of question. So we also, a couple of things that we also, I'm just sharing, like I add that, like that Krishna as a father or anyone as a parent would like to provide, amenities or any facilities for the kids. Similarly, Krishna has already provided everybody of us, irrespective of where they have gone or what is the circumstances, oxygen. The basic. We all have realized the importance and the value of oxygen during the COVID time. Every one of us has already, free of cost. Right? So basic thing is something that God has provided to everyone. Rest on top of it, even as we as the parents, if we have two kids, somebody is doing, somebody is more, focused or is responding to me better as compared to the other one. I would have little alignment more towards that person. So it's about reciprocation again, what we say. Similarly, Krishna would have that kind of reciprocation. At the same point of time, he's providing everything to everyone, all the vegetables, all the free air, oxygen, everything is there with everyone. So she's still there for everyone. At the same point of time, he's taking care of, balancing the commerce and reciprocating to the devotees.
As you approach me, I respond accordingly. If you take your dependence on something other than Krishna, then you have to get the results of that. If you take your dependence on Krishna, then everything will be saying, due course of time will be perfect. But people don't depend on Krishna. They don't want to be bothered with Krishna. They think I'm intelligent enough to do whatever I need to do. Yeah, Prabhupada gave a whole lecture. I just heard it about 2 weeks ago. He was really saying, you can't blame Krishna, for what's happening to you. You want to be independent, and then you suffer, and then you say, why is God not taking care of it? He is. He gives you your free choice, But then again, there's another answer that Prabhupada gives to Kamala's question. He said also within the political arena, there's a lot of mismanagement.
Yeah.
If
the leaders are the society are bigger ones.
He also said
Not Krishna comes, at least to a pious level, they can provide a lot of stuff. Sometimes greed and corruption in the leaders.
it's very prominent.
So,
But
I think
that will also not like
we don't see homeless people quite often, right?
go to downtown, there are
Downtown,
plenty.
but not that much as in India. In India, every street you see on the street people are there, right?
Connection with the person or proper
Shelter, yeah, they provide shelter here, right? They come out, they get food and everything. We go to Bethany House Home Shelter once a month to distribute prasad. We see family there, they're staying there like, they have everything, like nice clothes, branded clothes and all, they're staying there. And when I asked who is managing them, they said, we get all the donations, all clothes, everything, we provide them. So, and they warned us, if anybody asks you money or clothes, don't give it, because we give them everything, top to bottom.
food, shelter, clothes, everything they get, and they are very happy there, even though they are homeless. I don't think so we are that much happy.
I am there, but couple of them. They're nice clothes.
They're serving in other.
Prabhupada talks about that. They'll live in a very low-class squalor area, but they get all kinds of benefits and they just save it. And the Prabhupada says, just see, that's the karma. You can't change their karma. They're meant to live like that. Even though they have a choice.
Yeah.
That's the force of karma. Probably you give a pig halava, he won't eat it. Because that's his nature. If you give him, some nice stool, hey, it's a feast,
Where is my feast? You are giving khichdi.
Well, I kind of like history.
We should continue in the class. I think we are taking too much trouble. No smoking.
So are there any questions from our Zoom audience? Sakshi Mataji, you want to
Sakshi
go ahead
Mataji.
and ask?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna to all the devotees, Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. So yes, I have a question, little silly question, but I still wanted to clarify. So sometimes what happens is, are there some kind of phases in our devotional life wherein, there is a focus for maybe some duration of time, there could be some focus on the principle of surrender, or maybe the principle of humility, or something like that. So with me it happens, and coincidentally I land up into reading something which relates with the same principle, and quite often for maybe duration of days, and I hear the same thing over and over again. So I wanted to know, does that imply something? I'm not sure if I'm clear enough.
So what I'm hearing you say is you're reading the same matter, the same subject matter again and again.
Yes.
So what is wrong with that?
Yeah,
We
I
must,
just wanted to know, what does that imply?
it implies you're getting a taste for reading Prabhupada's books.
Not just reading, but in hearing also. I get little inclination for some trait of devotional service, like humility. So for some period of time, I get to hear the same thing over and over again in the lectures, in in reading books.
So that's my understanding, and we'll ask Guru Maharaj, but my understanding is Krishna is really trying to teach us something. When something is coming up again and again, some lesson is coming up again and again, it means that's the lesson we need to learn. Krishna is giving us clues. Okay, now you need to work on this, or you need to focus on this. So that situation or that reading, that topic may come again and again because we need to learn that.
Yeah. Perfect answer.
Okay, Guru Maharaj says it's correct.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. There is no any further questions, Mataji, here. There was one hand raised by Amritanam Mataji, but she left.
He left. Yeah, I know. I hope you all were able to hear what was being
Yeah.
spoken and the answers. Okay, good, good. That was my concern. I'm very, very relieved to know that everyone could hear and participate. So if there are no more questions and you want to quit at this point, that's fine, Vrindavan Prabhu. Thank you all so
Thank you,
much for your
Mataji. Thank you.
patience.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय,
Guru Maharaj ki jai.
जय,
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
हर ग्रेशी देवी माता जी की जय.
Guru Maharaj ki jai.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna.